After the Meiji Restoration, Japan began to develop its navy. In fact, our Beian fleet was ahead of Japan's navy at the time. But later on, due to various reasons, Japan caught up and defeated the Qing dynasty in the First Sino-Japanese War, and then defeated Russia in the Russo-Japanese War. Kagoka Shiro suddenly became unstoppable in Japan, at least in Asia, was in a dominant place as a sea. Mahan's influence on Japan was actually very significant. Mahan's sea power ideology was to win with sea power through naval annihilation warfare. Japan did this during the Sino-Japanese War and the Russo-Japanese War. So he still had this kind of thinking during World War II. Yamamoto Isoroku's idea is that although we cannot defeat the United States in the long run, we can force the United States to negotiate by annihilating its main aircraft carriers and ships in one strike. Therefore, we can see that make or break. It was precisely because Japan's victory went so smooth during the two wars that he embarked on adventures during World War II. The surprise attack on Pearl Harbor. After World War II, Japan pursued purely defensive defense and focused on economic development. Under the protection of the United States, its economic strength expanded first. In the 1980s, there was a book called Japan Can Say No, which stated that Japan could say no to the United States. At that time, Japan's economy was very prosperous. With economic strength fulfillment, one will have all the desires. Since the late 1990s, especially in the early 21st century, Japanese politics has shifted towards conservatism and started to lean towards the right wing. I think there is a very important background, which is the rise of China. For a long time, Japan has not been accustomed to the existence of two strong powers in Asia. Before the First Sino-Japanese War, China was the dominant power. In the decades between the First Sino-Japanese War and post-World War II, Japan's economic strength was stronger than China. With the development of China's economy and military strength after the 1990s, Japan began to be vigilant. After World War II, Japan was long subject to the peaceful constitution, but at the same time actively participated in international systems and made many maritime expansions. So for a considerable period of time, Japan pursued favorable interpretation by participating in and misinterpreting international system and do the maritime expansion. After entering the new century, especially in the second decade of the 21st century, Japan vigorously developed its military, so it also began to move towards the path of military expansion. Japan is still pursuing overseas power projection, such as using maritime escort to cooperate with the United States. The Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force has also begun to actively expand into Southeast Asia and even globally, embarking on military expansion routes, and fully intervened in China's three seas issues: the East China Sea, the Taiwan Strait, and the South China Sea. At the same time, cooperate with the United States even more explicitly to block China's passage into and out of the Pacific Ocean. Every time Chinese warships enter and exit the Pacific Passage, Japan claims that we have violated its territorial waters and imposes a threat to Japan. They use the hub of Chinese threat to enhance their capabilities and expand their maritime presence.